Got the tail, got the look that makes them pale. Step to me, you'll catch this fluff. Better hope you're tough enough. Hit 'em with that ooh-woo, make 'em go ooh-ooh. For flying high like a rave in the zoo-zoo. Bounce to the beat, tail whip, get freaky. Pounds in the air, this party getting cheeky. Hit 'em with that ooh-woo. Hit 'em with that ooh-woo. Hit 'em with that ooh-woo. Fangs out, glitter on my nose, LED color and I'm ready to pose. Neon drip, I'm serving it raw. You barking up the wrong persona. Bounce with the bass, let the tails collide. Fur pits lit, we don't hide. From the con to the rave to the moonlight groove. We don't play nice, we ooh smooth. Claws up, let's vibe. Heartbeat sync to the strobe light tribe. Too cute to fight, too fierce to lose. So we hit 'em all with that ultra cute.
Evening's freedoms, human, fauna sapiens, and democratically aligned alien life forms who figured out that Super Earth is in fact awesome and that we are gonna win. I'm glad you could make it. Tonight's intro was Hit 'em with That Ooh by Wrecker Vex. I wanted to subject you all to something new and unusual tonight, and this is something that transitions into one of my talking points for the show. But before we get into that, let's take a quick look at news from the galactic sphere. Earlier today, the bot advance into the Mars Spirit sector was rebuffed and the offenders asked politely yet firmly to leave. Around that time, Gunvolt started reporting that the invaders of Aurelia 5 were going out of their way to inflict civilian casualties, and their military forces were being badly overrun by hostile sentient home appliances. Several hours ago, Seraphim Hellpods landed on the planet, and their democratic voting power, the greatest fighting force in the universe, brought the DSS right along with them. She unleashed her wrath upon the hapless exodismal hostiles, and the automaton casualties were counted in the millions. With that humanitarian crisis handled, the DSS whooshed off to Zosma to shut down the offensive going on there, and took the vast majority of the Western Front Liberation Fleet right along with it. In fact, if you listen close, you could hear the siren song of Erwin Randall's rage breaking. However, it doesn't look like she has enough gas left in her overdrive tanks to stop this offensive cold. Just shave off a decent chunk. As of the time of this report, reinforcements are still arriving, but it looks like we'll be cutting down about 20 to 30% of the Incineration Corps' current deployment, vastly reducing its ability to do any further damage. See, this is why I don't really take the automatons that serious. Terminids are more like fighting a force of roving packs of wild animals, and the Illimited came the closest to our elimination by far. But the automatons? This is like trying to have a gunfight with Sideshow Bob at a field full of rakes. They just can't seem to get it together. Either the bot divers are one of the most proficient forces fielded by Super Earth in any dimension in any era, or the automatons are losing access to the I part of artificial intelligence. They exist solely for the purpose of getting clowned on by the Helldivers, and while the Illimited might have come the closest to our end, we came the closest to the bots, and that wasn't too long ago. Speaking of things that took place not that long ago, I'd like to take a moment to speak on the furry protests that occurred in the main HD2 Super Discord last year. The history of such an event goes as such. A user posted an image of their fursona in Helldiver armor, and there were several bullying individuals who reacted with a vomit emoji. A moderator told them to stop, claims of infringement of speech were whipped out, and before too long the offenders were racially muted. Not banned, just muted. But this wasn't about freedom of speech. More like the freedom being cruel to someone else. And I stand by the moderation team's efforts to this very day. Oh? You want to see the scandalous art that triggered all of this? Are you certain? Are your pearls clutched? Super Bible handy? Are you sitting down? Well and truly, some people can just make a massive deal about anything, can't they? This is why I have the tradition of posting tasteful furry Helldiver art in the fan art section around this time of year. Some of it is really quite good. my archives for over a year now, and I do not remember who made them. Watermarks should be clearly visible on all of them, so if you can find the original artist or recognize their work, please let them know that I am always on the lookout for new furry Helldiver art. You can also leave their name if you recognize them in the comments section below. That way, we can all hit the Liberation Fleet with that ooblu. Posting these kinds of things to the fan art section during those bad old days is actually how I first got my start in the Liberation Fleet community. Because no one takes my freedom from me. Next on news for tonight, I actually have a story from my own times on the front lines this morning on Zosma, fighting the Incineration Core. There I was, waiting for Mercy to swap out the orbital laser heat sink so that I could destroy the space. I programmed the strat beacon once the cooldown expired, and I'm just about to throw it when a red beam hits me in the head. I fumble the beacon, and it lands at my feet. My fist is flash-fried by the laser, and worst of all, the base that I wanted destroyed is too far away for Mercy to lock onto. So the stratagem was completely wasted. The guilty party was one of these little jerks. I couldn't believe it. I got completely styled upon by the lowest moot in the Automaton army. He must have been laughing his binary guts out with his pals watching me have a coronary. So help me, Liberty, you little loser. I am going to find you. I'm going to blow you to pieces, and then I'm going to scavenge your parts to recycle back into eruptor shell casings, so you can feel it every time that I blow another body to pieces using pieces of you. I'm going to burn Cyberstand to the ground, and then I'm going to build a tea house there called the Ponderous Kettle, and I'm going to employ Chaos Divers, and we're going to have a great working relationship where they'll be paid more than a healthy wage for their services. Then we'll see who's laughing then. I actually disconnected from the ongoing mission half out of rage and half because I couldn't believe that a bot like this managed to do something like that to someone like me. How often have you guys actually seen these things hit their target? Has anyone actually seen it happen? My mental crash out aside, I do want to lead into my next topic in the form of a question. This new president of Super Earth, does anyone know who this guy is? Has anyone in the Liberation Fleet actually been asked to submit a vote from their console? This is a pretty standard policy, and it struck me as odd that it wasn't followed. How is it that we have a president that no one voted for, and no one knows who they are? And then another diver mentioned something to me. Doesn't it strike you as weird that we get a new president out of nowhere, and just as he is secured in his position, we suffer a complete communications blackout from high command that lasted for the better part of a week? Don't you think it's weird that we're just chasing down bugs and bots in these minor border disputes instead of chasing down the remains of the Great Host Fleet? Or doing anything at all about the gaping hole of celestial doom that is Meridia? That's still open. They can still come through there anytime they want. Because I think all of this is pretty weird, guys. Yeah, I know that we're working on cracking Illuminate cloaking tech, but we have a pretty good idea which direction the Great Host ran off to. Galactic Southeast, toward the determined quarantine zone. But we're not even being told to go look for them. I mean, what if the Illuminate left something behind when they fled? A hidden cache of bioweapons? A psychically enslaved agent? Or a president? Which is why I am calling this president Nate Illum, because I do not know this dude, and I do not trust him. Now, next on the docket we have... Mercy, who just pulled up next to us?
A Super-Earth Super Destroyer registered with the Ministry of Defense just dropped out of a cube-year warp right on top of us. I only became aware of its course and proximity a few moments ago, but I did not want to interrupt you. I quite enjoy listening to you put on your shows.
Aw, that's sweet. But seriously, lock this bozo up and put a couple of 380s into him. Let him know that we are not interested in any you gods, insurance plans, or vacuum cleaners today.
He is hailing us.
Decline, ignore, block, blow him up. I am not suffering fools today.
He just signaled a white flag of surrender and is quite insistent on talking to you.
Oh, sweet and sour Liberty preserve me. Fine, let's see what he wants.
I thought that might get your attention. Evening Freedoms, are you Pandera the Radio Angel?
Who wants to know? You got about 20 seconds before before I grant you democracy's peace, we are not doing the whole I just want to talk ambush strategy today.
Whoa. Easy. Put the laser cannon down, girl. I got a proposition for you.
Clock is ticking, General.
Well, it's no secret that Super Earth got absolutely mangled. You know, you were there. What's that turn of phrase that you like to use a whole bunch? Torn into bags of shredded cheese or something? Man, that sounds about right. Certain ministries even more so. Most of the Ministry of Truth got murked the second everyone's backs were turned. I guess they weren't exactly well liked. The point is that there's a lot of positions open now, and I want to offer you a job. I want you to be Minister of Truth. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, of all the scams that someone tried to run on me before, that's a new one. Mercy, is this guy legit?
As far as I can tell, his credentials check out. This ship is the SES Shield of the People, owned and operated by General Roscoe Ultimatum Sirius.
Ultimatum? You mean like the guy?
Yes, like the gun, they named it after me. So, what do you say? You could do an awful lot of good in the universe, Minister. And isn't that kind of your thing? To leave the universe in a better place than you found it?
With respect, sir, why me? I'm just a newscaster.
You're also a helldiver. You've always done the right thing. You'll keep us honest, Kit Kat. You always have. And honestly, we're pretty bad at being honest.
Can confirm. Alright, General, we'll give this a try.
That's all I ask. Spend the weekend back on Super Earth and we'll get an office put back together for you so you can get started.
Alright, well, that's been Liberty's latest, dear listeners. Assuming this fish is not some sort of clever trap designed to wish me off to some black site death prison where I will never be heard from again, it looks like that I'm getting a promotion. I'll fill you in on the details when and where I can, but Super Earth infrastructure is still looking pretty bad. This will be the first time in recent memory that I have visited a home without anyone trying to arrest or kill me. It'll be a nice change of pace. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.